Shalom, my Israelite brothers and sisters. So, first of all praises to our Elohim, the Alpha and Omega, no beginning or end. Now, Saints, I want to deal with a subject that's hot off the press. There's a Gentile by the name of Dixie White just put out a video that's noteworthy to see. Now, in this video, he said that a black person came up to him and told him he should do a video to our people to warn them of their racism against them. Now, I find that very ironic for the fact that black people cannot be racist. And exactly why I have this title, Why Black People Cannot Be Racist. You see, Saints, what a lot of our people don't realize, in order to be racist, you have to be able to control the political structure and you have to be able to control the economic structure. Now, when you control those two, you control everything else, and then you can regulate how you want to rule at those entities, those powers, by keeping a certain race of people down by economics and by political. But we're going to get a little more into that. Now, I've been telling my people this for a long time now, and they just won't listen to me. They want to continue to call me a racist. Well, okay. Well, you're going to see the true meaning of it. You know, the Bible says that our enemies are they within our own household. And, you know, we've always had issues with our people just not wanting to listen to us, no matter what truth we tell them. They just don't want to listen. So if you don't want to listen to me, well, maybe you'll listen to a heathen. Better yet, maybe you will accept the words that he's saying. So I want you to check this out. I'm gonna show you a little bit. We're gonna pause, discuss some, then we'll play some more, and back and forth. So check this out.
Buddy Dixon back. You know, the other day a black man said to me, "Why don't you criticize black people for their racism?" A black man told me that, and I thought, well, if black people were bullying other people like brown people, yellow people, or white people systemically, institutionally in our country, culturally, in our nation, then I would be talking about it. But who's the bully here? What's operating here? I don't live under black or brown supremacy. I don't know of anybody in America that lives under a system of black or brown supremacy. So that's why I don't lecture black people about their racism, because it's not operating here. The only thing operating here is white supremacy. During the Civil War, America murdered each other because white people had to have slavery, because we're a bunch of fucking racists. So during the Civil War, 620,000 people murdered each other, died because of white people's bullshit. We had to have slaves.
And you know, some of our people are just straight up coons. And I mean straight up coons. And this word racism is a man-made concept, but our people have no idea of its real meaning. Just because you hate a heathen doesn't make you a racist. I mean, what is that going to do? Think about it. What is hating a heathen going to do to them? Is that going to lower their pay? Is that going to make them less rich? They can give a 2 cents of you hating them. That's not going to affect their white supremacy. That's not going to affect their rule over this world. They don't care about that. Our people just got their concepts mixed up. And they think that racist is just to hate another person. Well, that's a term which you would call prejudice, but everybody's prejudiced. I mean, there's something that we don't like. You might not like carrots just because the way they look or the way they taste. Prejudice and racism are two complete different things. And our people just got their whole priorities mixed up. Talking about we can be racist. No, we cannot be racist. And you're going to see it even more and more. Because I'm going to show you another clip from a brother named Dr. Claude Anderson that you might have heard of before. And he breaks it down really good. And he's been telling our black people He's all for our people, trying to get them get their self-owned businesses and things like that. But they've been throwing stones at him too. So go ahead and turn your Bibles to the book of Psalms 106, and we're going to read verse 41. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. That's what's going on right now. Who's in rule right now? The heathens. But their world is slowly coming down, and they know this. They see it. So we're going to see more outrage of the heathens against us in these last days. We're going to see it even more and more. These cats are afraid. They know what's going on. They know that we're the true bloodline, chosen seed of Israel. They mock us in their movies. There's a brother by the name of G-Dash the Prophet. Now, he does an outstanding job of showing us how Hollywood is depicting who we are in their movies. And they've been doing this for years. I mean, for years, brothers and sisters, but we just haven't been paying attention to it. All right, go ahead and turn your Bibles to Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. Let's read what that says. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. What's happening right now to the children of Israel? We're mourning. We're mourning because of the heathens' rule over us. But we all know that's quickly coming to an end. And we're going to have next. But see, we're not going to rule them like they've been doing us. We're going to rule them righteously. And they're going to be the handmaids and servants to us. They're going to be working for us because we're going to be ruling over them this time. All right, so let's go ahead and check out some more of this video clip.
Why? Because we're racist. What happened today? We had a black president for 8 years, white America. They freaked the fuck out. They installed a white supremacist. Now we have a white supremacist operating in our nation. Fact. There's not a legitimate news agency that has not called our president a racist. Not one.
All right, Zion. So I want you to check this out. So I pulled up some meaning of what it is to be racist. And I want to let you know this is a man-made terminology. Now, this was created by the heathens and it's downplayed. And you're going to see how faulty this is. And then I'm going to show you a clip from Dr. Claude Anderson and how he breaks it down. I mean, he breaks it down superbly of what racism is. Now, here it says a person who shows or feels discrimination or prejudice. Now, notice that they're tying in prejudice and racism, or discrimination and racism, against people or other races, or who believes that a particular race is superior to another. Now, this is partly right, because any group of people who control the political structure and the economic structure, you control everything else. Now, what do I mean by that? You control the media, you control the news, you control the music industry, you control all of it. But the two main keys is controlling the political and the economic. You control that, you rule the world. And this is what the elites have been doing for thousands of years. Now, Zion, you can see that this is a played down a definition of this to keep everyone in this world ignorant, to make you believe that anybody can be racist. Well, you can be black and be a racist. And that's the problem with our people. And then you got these so-called coonish brothers and sisters that want to come along. Well, you guys need to stop being racist against those people. You have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Now, how can a people such as us be racist when we're at the complete bottom? We are the permanent underclass. We're the lowest of the lowest. Now, you tell me how we can be racist on that when we don't control the political structure or the economic structure. We don't even have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Talking about we can be racist. Now I want you to check this next brother out. Dr. Claude Anderson is he's a business owner, wrote several books, and he's always been for our people, trying to help them to get their own businesses and all that kind of things. But our people have been throwing stones at him, not listening to him, just ridiculing him. And it's crazy how our own people do that to one another. It's just messed up. But check out this clip, and then we're going to come back.
Understand clearly that it is impossible in theory and practice for a black person to be a racist. It is totally, absolutely impossible. When I listen to the Fox channel, I say you can't be that stupid and go to college unless you're using Gorilla Glue and got a certificate for being stupid. You cannot have a black person as a racist. All black people can do is react to racism. They're not racist. Racism is a power concept, point one, and two, it's a group concept. To be able to be a racist, you must belong to the group that has the power and the wealth. And it's a group-based concept. I'm gonna divert over for a second just to give you a little piece of information. Racism never existed on the earth until the 1500s. The same time capitalism came into effect, and we'll talk about that also. Racism never existed. During the 1400s, European societies were devastated with crime, poverty, and diseases. And when Columbus came back and he discovered America, at that point in time, 9 European nations said, let's now go and enrich ourselves in that third world country. And they decided then, based on slaves that had been brought to Henry the Navigator back in 1443 and given to him, they said, and the Pope then put out a public edict in 1488 saying, if you're going to slave anybody, use what we've learned through the Catholic Church, these black slaves that Henry the Navigator gave us, use them. And so everybody started going around the coast of Africa and picked up these blacks. And they were picking up these black people off the coast of Africa for about $25 a head. And they were bringing them to the New World and selling them in for a $1,500 return on investment. And then prior to that time, the major form of commerce was called mercantilism. By 1509, it switched off, they started calling it capitalism.
And invariably, wherever I spoke, I would ask people, do you know what racism is? I would even offer $1,000 for a person to tell me what racism is. I still got black folk today who don't even know what racism is. They talk about it. Find me one that understands what racism is. Every time I ask them, what's racism? Well, Dr. Anderson, racism is not liking somebody. It's prejudice, it's bigotry, it's hatred. No, it's not. Racism is a competitive relationship between groups of people that are competing for the ownership and control of wealth and resources and power. That's what racism is. Racism is a group phenomenon. Racism is a team sport. You cannot participate in racism if you don't play as a team. You can't correct it. You're not even in the game. Racism is like football, basketball, and baseball. You play as a team or you lose. And I got all these so-called educated blacks in America on TV, heading up civil rights organizations, getting elected to public office. Don't you understand what racism is? That's why they don't do anything. They go there and tell you, well, I'm in a public office now, I'm a mayor or governor. My thing is to make sure everybody get along. That's not affecting racism. Nobody asked you to get elected to office and make people get along.
I have much respect for this brother. So Dr. Claude Anderson made some very profound points. So first of all, he said that racism is a power concept, and then secondly, it's a group concept. Now, he is so right about that because many of our people don't understand that, because a lot of our people have been brainwashed to believe that integration was the best thing since sliced bread. Now, a lot of our people, and you know, this is the crazy part. We see today, and you would even think in these last days that our people would just wake up. But our people are still trying to integrate. They're still trying to get the heathens to love them, to accept them. And it's like our people are going completely out the way and doing everything in their power to and trying to exhaust themselves and trying to get these heathens to love them. But it's not working, saints. It is not working. It's getting worse and worse, and you would think that they would see that. Now, y'all remember when that shooting happened in South Carolina? I think it was 9 or 6, I think it was 9 elderly people got shot in that church. and that heathen came in there, and they probably were so accepting to him. Oh, look at white Jesus. He's going to be here to have a Bible study with us. And our people are just so gullible. You get a white person that comes around and they start talking sweet to you and everything. Oh, that's so nice. Then they start calling you brother and all that, lifting you up above their own people. Our people are sick. Our people have some serious mental conditions. And the only way that that's going to be healed and cured, some of them will have to be destroyed. Some of them are going to have to be laid out. And that's what's going to happen. Many of our people are going to die. And I'm telling you something, saints. Get ready, because as things are happening, as this destructions are happening across the world, and this ain't even the beginning, we're going to witness the death of billions of people. Brothers and sisters, the Most High is not playing. He's getting ready to destroy these wicked nations. And yes, billions are going to die. Billions. Now, let's look at some more of this clip from Dixie White.
Everybody's called him a racist because he is. This is the reality that we're living in, folks. You can live in denial, white America. You can live in delusion, but you're not helping yourself. As a matter of fact, you're fucking yourself just like you did in the Civil War. You hold on to your white supremacy. You install white supremacists. And what happens? You fuck yourself. Trump is for rich people. He's not for you. He's not for the average person. Trump is a narcissist. He's an unstable, thin-skinned, megalomaniac, malignant narcissist. The man is unstable. The man is treasonous. The man is scandalous. The man is incompetent. The man is a raging fucking lunatic. The only reason he's there is because racist white America had to have a racist president after a black president, and that's it. So now we've got what? We've got homophobia running rampant. We've got laws and agendas being passed against homosexuals, against the LGBT community. We've got racism running rampant. We've got sexism. We've got hate groups rising. We've got white people calling the police every fucking day on black folks or brown folks for whatever the fucking, for breathing, for shopping, for whatever the fucking reason. We've got a fucked up country. We've got no healthcare system that it's a third world healthcare system. People are dying because our healthcare sucks. Our educational system is ranks in the world really, really low. I think it's number 14 or something. It's really, really bad. So I mean, our country is fucked. We've got all these things. We've got economic inequality. That's horrific. We've got, you can drive through the streets of California and you'll see thousands of homeless people living in the streets, tent cities all over California, all over our nation. Homeless people. And the 1% are the richest group. They own all the wealth in our country. And inflation is rising. There's in California, I think it's in the San Francisco Bay and in Sacramento and all those areas, in Oakland. You know how much the average cost of a 2-bedroom apartment is? $3,000 to $4,000. For a 2-bedroom, a 1-bedroom is $2,000 to $3,000. This is the average cost of an apartment, folks. Meanwhile, Trump wants to make sure that everybody makes $9 an hour. And you think you're helping yourself, white America, by installing a racist, by continuing to support white supremacy. You know, the problem, you thought the problem was black people. You thought the problem was brown people. No, the problem is white America doesn't know how to fix their own problems because they're so focused on racism. Now we have a fucking lunatic in office, a psychopath. A literal psychopath installed in office. God knows what he's going to do. God knows what kind of war he's going to get us into. And why are we going through all this shit? Because white America thought the problem was black and brown folks. So they had to have a racist in office. And look what the fuck they got. It's a goddamn disgrace.
Oh, man. Ooh. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, these heathens are scared. And they see it. You can see it in their actions against us. And you know, it's funny. It's like a memo went out or something for all these heathens all of a sudden to start calling the police on black folk just for any little thing. You know, but see, that's part of their reaction, though. They're reacting to it because, let me tell you something. They were promised by Trump that America was going to be white again. But they got a shocking wake-up call. And now they're starting to realize not only is America coming down, but all these other countries are coming down. Now, Saints, I know you've been paying attention to the fires. Now, you would have to be living under a rock to not know what's going on around us. And every year, all this destruction is getting worse and worse. Now, the reports came out yesterday that these fires that are going on in Northern California are the biggest ever, the worst ever, the most precedented fires ever recorded. And it's like every year, and I know they say that every year, but every year is worse and worse. So just imagine what it's going to be like a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. Can you imagine the destructive forces that are going to be taking place, not only here in America, but around the world? And we're seeing it all around us. Everything is increasing. You know, it's only a matter of time before all this falls apart. And like I said before in previous videos, the heathens are going to start coming after us. They're going to start realizing who we are. They're going to wake up, all of them, not just a fraction of them. All of them are going to wake up and start realizing who we are. You think that they're going to want to serve us? You think that they're going to want to be under the rule of some niggers? That's not going to happen. Because they're not used to that. They've always been used to inequality. They have to be above us at all times. But see, that's coming to an end. And they can't stand that. You see, in this current time we're living in, see, it's not enough for white people to be, or so-called heathens to be equal with us. They have to be above us. That's their mindset. And that's why so many of them are going to be destroyed, because they can't accept the fact of us ruling over them. But hey, that's okay, because all we got to do, brothers and sisters, is sit back and enjoy the ride. Stay out of the Most High's way, and our people keep getting in the way, trying to embrace these heathens. But you know what? They haven't learned their lesson yet, so they're going to have to learn a hard lesson on their own. But for me, I'm staying far away from these heathens, you know, and allow the Most High judgment to come. That's the problem. We keep getting in the way. We keep getting in the way of their downfall. Saints, step the hell back and just watch and enjoy the ride. So with that being said, we're going to close it out with Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are those that keep the commandments of Elohim and have the faith of Hamashiach. And brothers, until next time, I say shalom and stay strong.